my name is Lucy. Welcome to my channel. For today's recipe, I'm making something very classic, very traditional. I'm making the classic meatloaf recipe. This meatloaf has a coating or a glaze made of ketchup and brown sugar. You're going to love it. The recipe requires basic ingredients, easy to find. So please join me in my kitchen to make this delicious and wonderful meatloaf. And let's begin with the basic ingredients. 1/3 cup of whole milk, 2 teaspoons Dijon Mustard, 2 teaspoons Worcestershire sauce, this thing here. 2 eggs plus 1 egg yolk, 2 teaspoons vegetable oil, 2 mashed garlic cloves, 1 teaspoon dry thyme, 1/2 cup chopped cilantro, 1 chopped large onion, 20 saltine crackers. These crackers together with the milk will make a nice panade. 2 pounds of 93% lean ground beef and 2 pounds ground pork. And for the glaze, 2.5 tablespoons vinegar, 1 teaspoon hot sauce, 1/4 of a cup brown sugar, and 1 cup of ketchup. So let's begin cooking. A nice panade will keep the meat moist. So I'm blending together the 20 saltine crackers with the milk, making a nice paste. Now in a deep frying pan, using the vegetable oil, I'm going to sauté the onions. Once the onions are translucent, I'm going to add the garlic cloves. I'm going to put this mixture in a bowl and let it cool. At this point, I'm going to turn on the oven in the broiler setting and cover my baking pan with aluminum foil. Now in my big blender, I'm going to mix together the panade with the ground beef, all of it. Put it in a bowl, add 1 teaspoon of salt and 1 teaspoon of black pepper. If it's fresh ground pepper, better. Start mixing and then keep adding ingredients. The eggs, the Worcestershire sauce, the Dijon Mustard, the thyme, adding the cilantro, then I'm adding the mixture of the onions with the garlic. Make sure this mixture is already cool before you add it to the meat. Keep blending until everything is well mixed together. Then put it in your baking pan and form a loaf. This loaf is about 4 or 5 inches wide and about 11 inches long. We're going to place this loaf just like it is, no cover, in the broiler for 5 minutes to create a crust. So to the oven it goes. While the meat is in the oven, I'm going to make the glaze. I'm going to mix the ketchup, with the vinegar, the hot sauce, and the hot sauce is completely optional. It just gives a nice kick to the flavor of the glaze. And the brown sugar. Mix everything together. Make sure the sugar is completely dissolved. Remove the meatloaf from the oven and lower the temperature to 350 degrees. And now we're going to brush some of the glaze over the meatloaf and place the loaf again in the oven for 45 minutes at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Make sure your meat is completely covered with the glaze. And up to the oven goes again until it reaches 160 degrees Fahrenheit. It should take about 45 minutes. If not, leave it a little longer if it hasn't reached the temperature. Cover your meatloaf with aluminum foil and let it rest for about 20 minutes. In the meantime, I'm going to reduce the sauce that was left over. This sauce I will serve or pass with the meatloaf while serving. It will take maybe 3 or 4 minutes to reduce the sauce, enough to have a gravy consistency. After 20 minutes, your meat should be ready to be cut and served. Transfer to a serving platter and then cut it in 1 or 1.5 inch thick. This loaf easily will give you enough for 8 to 10 people. All depends how you cut it. And you will have enough left over for next day. I hope you enjoyed this video and you come back to see me again. Please subscribe if you have not done so. I see you in my next video. Bye bye. And let's begin with the basic ingredients. 1/3 cup whole milk, 2 teaspoons Dijon Mustard, 2 teaspoons Worcestershire,